Breaking news, we're just hearing that the disgraced peer Lord Sewel has stepped down from the House of Lords. He's written a letter, says, I have today written to the Clerk of the Parliaments terminating my membership of the House of Lords. Jason Farrell, who's there in Westminster for us this morning, the pressure just grew and grew.
It did. There were so many people calling for him to resign, and I think this letter really was inevitable. Let me just read you a little bit more of it. He says, the question of whether my behaviour breached the code of conduct is important but essentially technical. The bigger questions are whether my behaviour is compatible with membership of the House of Lords and whether my continued membership would damage and undermine public confidence in the House of Lords. I believe the answer to both of these questions means that I can best serve the House by leaving it. He goes on to say, as a subordinate second chamber, the House of Lords is an effective, vital, but undervalued part of our political system. I hope my decision will limit and help repair the damage I have done to an institution I hold dear. Finally, I want to apologise for the pain and embarrassment I have caused, and thereby, for the first time, acknowledging this story in The Sun, in one of his statements, apologising for the embarrassment he has no doubt caused not only to the House of Lords but to his wife and family. And it is interesting that he mentions this point about it being a technical question of whether he breached the code of conduct. That was a big issue. It was suggested by Baroness Boothroyd that he had indeed breached that code, and Baroness de Souza felt that the code has 7 principles and it asks for you to act with integrity, and that was the aspect that he was felt to have breached, although others, Lord Brasburn, who used to do his job on the Standards Committee, felt that he had not actually committed an offence against the House of Lords, although he described his actions as ghastly. And I think this issue is just obviously repulsed many people in the House of Lords, felt that he had to go, wanted him to leave quietly, even though these new laws have come in that allow them to ultimately expel him. By last night taking a leave of absence and saying he would potentially come back into the House of Lords, that just caused more consternation because people really felt this was going to drag on and on and on. They would come back after recess, whether the police investigation had found anything or not. Then they would have to have this inquiry, and it could have continued to tarnish the name of the House of Lords. So yeah. I think he feels that this is his way of dealing with it, and he's answering the calls of many and handing in his resignation.
Oh, the image